Here's a breakdown of everything we spent to get our first property listed on Airbnb and VRBO. Now, for a little bit of context, the home that we purchased is in Grayland, Washington, which is about 2.5 hours away from Seattle. It's near the coast and considered a touristy beach town. There's not a lot of permanent residents there. It's got a lot of retirees, and it's got a lot of summer traffic for beachgoers and folks just trying to enjoy some sun. The house itself had a list price of $300,000. This was for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,800 square feet. It was a fair price for a house in that range, although the condition was not quite where it should have been to get that price. We ended up offering $280,000, knowing that we were going to need to replace the septic tank and the windows, and that offer was accepted. For financing, we looked at a number of options. The best option for us that we found was actually getting a commercial loan. The interest rate was the same if we did it as a second home. And so with the commercial loan, we were able to put 15% down and get the property closed with about $54,000 in total costs to close. Once in, we had several repairs to do. The most expensive of these repairs was replacing the windows. We replaced 15 windows in total, all of them, and that set us back $22,000. The old windows were just not serviceable at all. Many of them were broken. A lot of them didn't open. Some of them were actually screwed shut, and just no way to really repair what was there without just doing a full replacement. The new windows do make a significant difference in the look. They reduce the cold as well in the winter because there were a number of gaps around the windows and windows that didn't close well, let a lot of cold air in the winter. It also helps reduce the road noise that can be heard from times at this property. We spent about $19,000 with contractors doing things that I can't do or I didn't want to do. Things like replacing the water heater, some of the other plumbing work that needed to be done. We replaced the chimney stack and a bunch of little things like that that either came up in the inspection or things that we noticed that really detracted from the ambiance of the house. $17,500 went into putting in a new septic system. The drain field was bad. We knew that when we bought the house. And because of the age of the septic system, the tank was no longer within code. And we replaced that at the same time as well. So brand new septic system from the initial pipe coming out of the house all the way through to the end of the drain. I did a bunch of the work myself on the property, including things like painting the entire inside. I replaced all the light fixtures. I replaced many of the light switches as well. We changed some of the light switches to hard wires where it made no sense that there was a switch on the wall. Lots of little things that needed to be done and things I was able to get done myself and save a little bit of money. These projects still cost $9,500 total in materials and took about 340 hours of my time. Furniture and household items cost another $9,500. That's pretty cheap for the size of this house. We were able to use some furniture that we had just sitting in our garage from our other house. And we spent a lot of time in Habitat for Humanity stores, finding good quality furniture at a more reasonable price than buying new, knowing that we were going to have renters in there and that they weren't going to take the best care of all the furniture. We didn't want to spend a crazy amount of money on new furniture. And we were able to find some really good things at those Habitat for Humanity stores. Now, this property we are theming as a tropical, air quotes, tropical location. It is again in Seattle. So the weather is anything but tropical, but there are techniques that allow you to grow things like palm trees in cold weather. And we are theming this house as a tropical beach getaway on the coast of Washington State. So because of that, we spent about $4,500 buying palm trees and other tropical looking plants that are able to survive in this environment. The last thing we got for the house was a multicade. This is an arcade system, looks like an old arcade machine that runs emulators that has 17,000 games in it. That's the marketing number. The reality is there's probably a few hundred that you would actually want to play, but there's everything from old school 80s arcade games like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Dig Dug, those types of games. There are also games from consoles, including all of the Nintendo games, including the original Nintendo, Super NES, N64. It's got all of the Sega consoles, the Genesis, the Dreamcast, all of the Atari consoles on there. Uh, it's just a fun piece to have in the house that I enjoy as well. So uh, that set us back another $2,200. Now, the grand total for everything was $143,809, including the down payment, all of the money we spent on repairs, furnishings, and the mortgage to get us to a point where we felt comfortable listing the property. Now, this is a lot, and it's a lot more than we had initially intended to spend. But as we started getting into this, we really wanted to build a place that we wanted to stay. This isn't just about making a quick buck. This isn't about making money with the least amount invested. We wanted to build a house, to build a property that we wanted to come to as well. And that meant we spent a little bit more money on things that we wouldn't have otherwise spent. And for us, we're really taking a long-term approach to this property. I don't ever plan on selling it. So this will be my kid's problem when I'm dead. And with that in mind, we have many years to make up money for the investment that we made in getting this property to where it's at. Watch more about our journey into short-term rentals by watching this next video here. Drop any questions you have down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you.